So imagine finally holding that red Portuguese passport in your hand, knowing your kids and grandkids can live, work, and study anywhere in Portugal, all because of one old wedding record. Miss this step and the whole family tree breaks. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I registered my grandmother's marriage, the one that happened before liberation, so that my entire family could qualify for a Portuguese nationality. You learn the right to register a marriage that happened before 1961, what documents you'll need, and how you can get them. And most importantly, the step-by-step process I followed so you can do it too, no matter where you live in the world. So after the big win of getting my grandmother's Nascimento from Portugal, which I talked about in my last video, you can click on the link above, I thought we were in the clear. I was already dreaming of booking an appointment for my mum for her birth at the consulate. And to tell you the truth, was even planning my future in Europe at the time. But then I hit the wall. Someone asked me, have you registered your grandmother's marriage yet? I'm like, my heart sank. I didn't even know that was something I had to do, let alone how to go about it. Now, let's be real. My biggest fear when I started the marriage registration process, it was this nervous feeling of not knowing where to begin. Seriously, where do you go? What do you even do? And back then, there was no Go Online, no centralized online system, no clear guide, nothing. You literally had to travel from Mumbai to Goa, take time off work. You stumble upon the dusty book in the right corner of the right church or in the right office. And help? Forget it. The agents that I met at the time were blunt, unhelpful. Give me all your documents, don't waste my time. That's all they say. They wouldn't even lift a finger unless they were handed everything perfectly, like you say, on a platter. Now, that's exactly one of the reasons why we at DIC Global started offering the search document service so that we can help you find your document. Because back in my day, you were completely on your own. And let me tell you, getting that marriage registered wasn't easy, especially being from outside Goa. Like I said, I had to travel, take time off work, deal with rude agents who didn't explain anything, and just hope I'd find the right dusty book in the right corner of the church. And eventually, I figured it out. And today, I'm showing you exactly how you can do it so you don't have to go through what I did back then. So let's start with why this step even matters. If your grandparents got married in Goa before 1961, having a local church record or civil certificate isn't enough. Portugal won't consider it official unless it's registered in their system as an assento de casamento. That's the legal bridge between generations. And without it, your parents' birth cannot be linked to your grandparents. And your application for a Portuguese passport could hit a dead end. Now, this only applies to your grandparents who were married before liberation. If they were married after 1961, the process is different, and I'll talk about this in another video. But for pre-liberation marriages, you've got to get this part right. And here's what you'll need. You can jot this down or just screenshot this. Your grandmother's birth certificate, the Portuguese one, your grandfather's birth certificate, that's if you can get it, a copy of the actual registry for the marriage, the handwritten one in the church book, or the civil registration marriage if it exists or if you can find it. Now, sometimes families did this along the church weddings. And finally, your ID proof to prove your relation. And don't skip this. Most of these documents need to be apostilled, translated into Portuguese by a certified translator. This is one of the most common reasons applications gets delayed or even rejected. So double check everything is in order before you submit your file in Portugal. So how did I even find the right church to begin with? Well, I started by asking all the family members, where the wedding likely happened and do you remember anything basically? Called the church office and I got absolutely nowhere. I had to physically visit the church in Goa and ask to see the register book for the year they were supposedly married and then take a copy of the handwritten entry myself. At first, I got the church marriage certificate, but later realized I also needed a copy of the register entry. So I had to then go back for that once again. Now, if you're doing this remotely, it helps to have someone trustworthy on the ground doing the work for you. Here's what helped me. I focused on my grandfather's background. I managed to get his baptism certificate from Kortalim Church. So that was like the aha moment. It clearly stated that they were married in the same church. So I immediately contacted the church and with the huge sign of relief and a grin in my head, asked for the marriage entry. Now, that document That single piece of paper was the key. At that time, I didn't have the civil marriage record, which is usually preferred, but this church record was enough to move forward. In fact, once I had all the documents, I submitted them to Portugal, and not before notarizing and getting a collector stamp and then apostilling the document. So the whole thing took around several months. So be prepared for delay. Don't panic if you don't hear anything right away. I mean, that's perfectly normal. Let me also walk you through a few common mistakes that can really mess this up for you. Number one, assuming church certificate is enough. Well, it's not. You need the actual register entry from the church book. Number two, missing the apostles or forgetting to translate the document properly. Number three, small mismatches in the names or dates between the registers and the certificates. They can cause a lot of problems. Number very, very important, trusting shady agents or careless agents. Always check credentials and don't hand over originals unless you trust the person fully. After I got everything registered, something amazing happened. My mom became eligible. Other family members, including my son, followed. So this created a path, that didn't actually exist before. But emotionally, I'll be honest, at the exact moment I found that marriage document, I didn't feel much. I really didn't have a deep emotion bond with my grandmother. We had a big family and I was pretty young when she passed away. Now, you know how I registered my grandmother's marriage. But there's still one big risk: doing it wrong. Even with the right documents, one small mistake can delay your entire process for months and even get rejected. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most common mistakes and how to avoid every single one of it. It's the video I wish I had when I started the process. So click here to watch that now and see you in the next one.